Well, welcome everybody. I'm delighted to introduce Simon Bowler, and Simon Bowler is a Juice Plus chap out of London. So I also consider him a friend in the business, and he's been a very successful friend in the business and has done it a long time. Simon, I will just read out what I've got for you in terms of a bio. Initially started as a partner in the field in 1990, so you're a good vintage. 96, invited to join the JP Company corporate team. Within 7 years, promoted to GM of the UK-based business. In 20, and I think you held that position until May 17. Is that correct?
Correct.
Well done.
No, 213.
213. Then did you become the vice president of EMEA sales then? And you were responsible for the supporting sales activities in the 16 EMEA countries. And then May 20, promoted to vice president global partner relations, and May 22 promoted to chief partner relations officer in EMEA. You have had an extensive career with Juice Plus, and I love it because it shows longevity and it shows confidence and experience in all of this. But tell me, Simon, going back to 1990, what did you see with the business at the time? What intrigued you to go, you know what, I fancy this for the next 30 odd years?
Thanks, Mick, for having me on, by the way.
Our pleasure.
Having a pom on this call. But anyway, listen, we'll let you off on that one.
We're fine. You're good.
Listen, I call it the Victorian times when I got involved, because it seems so long ago now, 32 years. Like a lot of people, I mean, I got involved as a partner initially. I was a young mid-20s, had a couple of businesses of my own, reasonably successful. You know, I had 4 or 5 staff, not a big business, but I got a phone call from a friend and he said, I've got this chap here, right, who's, I don't know him, but he's got this American business that's coming into the UK. And yeah, I'm not interested, but I know you're always open-minded. Can I send him over? So he sent this guy over called Dave Smith. He knocked on the door, didn't know the guy from Adam, and invited him. And he showed me a VHS video, actually, of those guys that remember. Those, I know you will. Yeah, showed me a VHS video. And I looked at that and I thought, yeah, that sounds really interesting. Company maybe a bit dodgy, but the product I tried at the time, which we didn't have Juice Plus then, we had water filtration systems, and I was a big bottled water purchaser. So I could see literally nobody had got this product. It was price to sell, price to profit. I could see everybody buying it. And I thought, wow, yeah, that sounds fantastic. But I thought this company, well, just not sure, you know, coming over from America to the UK, is it what it is, what it says it is? So this guy left. He left me one of these water filtration systems, and I rang my accountant that afternoon and I said, look, can you do a check on this company? And he said, I'll do a Dun & Bradstreet check. Cost me about 160 euros at the time, quite expensive. But, you know, I sort of got a business head on me, and I thought, well, there's no way I'm going to go into something where this company could just fold, you know, very quickly. So he came back the day after, and it had a 4A2 rating with Dun & Bradstreet, which for your listeners now will mean absolutely nothing. It meant the company was cash rich. They were debt free. I hadn't got any risk. At that time, you had to buy a package of product, by the way, which most people now, if they were approached with Juice Plus to do that, would never get involved, you know. But in those days, we did. So I purchased a package. That came within 48 hours. I sold it pretty much within 48 hours. It had gone. I had 5 friends that came in similar to what I did. And literally within the first week, huge amount of success. Unbelievable. Went to my first meeting. The guy that was doing the product didn't turn up. This guy said to me, what do you do with the product? And I thought, oh my God, right. Anyway, so I ended up doing the product. And then short story is on this one is I went to a big convention in Las Vegas in October 1990. Went there, 15,000 people, and I saw a lot of young American guys going across stage, similar to me. And I thought, wow, you know, if these American guys can do this, I'm sure I can back in the UK. And of course, we were poised for launch into Europe at the time. And I just saw the big vision. So I came back and I decided to sell my businesses, and I went full time. And that's it. And the rest is history, as they say.
So is it true to say, and I might be wrong saying this, true to say that you were the first Juice Plus person in the UK? Is that a reasonably accurate?
No, there were a few. I mean, not many. I'm talking literally a dozen guys at the time, quite young guys.
Yes.
Some influential guys got involved, but we kicked off, and it was tough. I mean, it was hard
Yes.
work to start, because we had to do everything, you know, and we had
Yes.
our starter kit came in a brown paper bag.
Right. That's all you need.
That was it. You know, we got no brochures. Actually, we got nothing really, apart from some belief to know that this product was, you know, we could sell it anywhere, and it was going to be amazing.
Yeah.
So that was it.
So you did that for 7 years.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I had a massive personal growth in those 7 years as well, Mick, because the Americans use the UK as a stepping stone to expand into Europe. So in month 10, my business expanded into Belgium when we opened up there.
Yeah.
Had a dentist in Antwerp that got involved.
Yes.
So I flew to that meeting. There were 400 people in the meeting, all speaking in Flemish, and it blew my mind. And I thought, wow, all these guys are in my business.
Yeah.
Came back to Heathrow, and my sponsor said to me, I think you should go and live in Belgium. I was like, are you mad? No way.
Yeah.
What a Brit's going to live in Belgium, coming off an
Yeah.
island. Anyway, listen, another long story short, I moved to Belgium the following weekend with all my worldly possessions stuffed in my car.
Yeah.
Spent a year in Belgium. Then we opened in Holland. I spent just over a year and a half in Holland. Then we opened in France, moved to Paris, where I had to learn some French, no choice. I did just over a year in France. And then we opened Hong Kong, and my business went over there, and I decided to go and live in Hong Kong for 2.5 years. And that was my nearly 7 years as a partner. And you know what? I mean, it was unbelievable. I would not change a millisecond of that journey. Was it tough? God, you wouldn't believe it. Yeah, I had days when I felt like quitting.
Yes.
But personal growth was just huge.
Well, I mean, that I didn't know all that detail, son, but that speaks volumes for you, because that's grunt right there, isn't it? Really, that's stickability, as they say in the industry. Yeah.
It was a great time. It really was, and just the travel.
Yes.
On its own. Forget about experience, you know, what happened with the business. Just the traveling around the different cultures, the languages. That was unbelievable. You know, it's something I'm getting my kids to do now, what I did in the early days there. Yeah. And it was fantastic. Yeah, a few foreign girlfriends I might add on the way, just to learn the language. Don't tell my wife.
Yeah, no, can't mention that.
But it was an amazing time. And then I got a phone call in it was actually October 96 to say, listen, it was my upline at the time, where the Americans had decided to sell Europe as like a master franchise to localize people to run those countries. And I got that phone call, and it said, well, you know, would you like to come and work on the corporate side with me? I call the darker side. So the darker side of the business. I actually said no. You know what? I said, no way. You know, I was having the time of my life in Hong Kong. Having lots of success, traveling around that region. It was so rich in many ways. Anyway, he was persistent. He wanted me to join him. And then after about 2 weeks of phone calls and faxes, remember those days we had faxes?
As you do. Yes.
And I said, okay. And he said, well, listen, you're going to have to sell the business, your Juice Plus business, back to the company. You can't do both. And I said, I can't come and live back in the UK. I've lived away for too long, and it's cold, wet, miserable, dark, rainy. You know it well, Mick.
All the rest.
Which is why you moved. And then I said, well, listen, I'll come back, but I'm not going to live in the UK. He said, no, fine. Go and live in Amsterdam. Got an office there. So I came back to Amsterdam, and we ended up closing that office after 6 months, actually. He knew we were going to close it. But anyway, I went back to the UK and became GM for the company then. That was in 2007. Yeah.
Very good.
Sorry, 1997. Got it wrong.
When you landed back in the UK with the GM title under your belt, what were you looking at as a business then?
It was pretty miserable, actually. A lot of people won't know this watching now, but in the mid-90s, our business had a massive downturn because we were very much recruitment driven. And I told you earlier, we had to buy packages.
Yes.
We don't have those issues nowadays, of course. You know, the big investment, of course, is your application fee, and that is it, in time. But in those days, you know, it was basically an old style business where a lot of the products ended going up back to the company that didn't get sold. And the Americans had decided, right, we do two things. Either we lock the door on Europe, retreat back to America, or we sell it on to locals as a franchise where actually we haven't got a lot of risk. They pay royalties for what they sell, but we can help them.
Yes.
And that's what we did. And we started off in 1996. All of our leaders have left, right? We've got probably two NMDs left on board.
Yeah.
And we thought we could change the business around in probably 3 years, but actually it took us about 10.
Yes.
Brick by brick by brick by brick every day. Lots of hard work. We didn't have a lot of money to invest in the business. But you know what we did? We actually had belief. And also, I've got to tell you, we had so much fun in those days. Lots and lots of fun. You know, I can remember having hotel meetings. We went to meetings and, you know, we even couldn't afford a bedroom together, right? We had to have twin single beds, right, in the room because we couldn't afford 2 rooms. Imagine that from the corporate side, but that's how it was.
Yes.
You know, and then of course we rebuilt the business back with new leaders, where it came to 2013, and of course the Americans decided to buy back that business. My shareholders, partners decided to leave. I stayed on with the company, and I took on the UK regional director role for the UK and Ireland at the time, and opened a new office. And that was the start of some new growth, of course, as you know.
And so when did it change over from water filtration systems to our current product?
We actually sold them for a while, actually. Some other countries didn't. So basically 1993 Juice Plus came in. And you probably heard the stories, some of you, that actually, well, we don't really know how to sell it at the time. It was sold on testimonials.
Yes.
You know, crazy that was that time there. And it wasn't until, of course, we had O.J. Simpson as a celebrity endorser at the time. And of course, that went horribly wrong, as you know. Him allegedly shooting his wife. He got a Juice Plus T-shirt on when he was stopped by the police. Nightmare. So Jay Martin, our founder, decided, right, okay, we're not going to go the celebrity endorsement route because they come and go. We're going to spend $1 million a year on independent, scientific, peer-reviewed research at leading universities, and we're going to find out what happens when you start taking Juice Plus and it goes inside the body. And that started, of course, in 1996. The first one was done in Arizona. Amazing results, 28-day test it was. And it basically said, listen, if you take Juice Plus capsules, you reduce your free radicals by 66%. You know, those bad guys flying around in your body. So that's all started then. Lots of doctors got involved. 1998 in Geneva, Italy, I remember clearly, we actually started what's called the Preferred Customer Program. And that's when we would ship a box of Juice Plus, 4-month supply, and we would take installments every month. That changed the business overnight. And from there, we really got lots of new credibility, lots of doctors, practitioners get involved. And then, of course, we really found the success formula of how to get a product to customers in a way they could afford it. You know, everybody could afford that 1-month installment and then pay the rest over 3 months. And that at the time was really innovative if you think about it. Nobody else was doing that. It was crazy. So Juice Plus was well before its time, as was this innovative way of taking payments then back in 1998.
So that was a significant, I mean, $1 million is $1 million, but $1 million in 96 was a significant amount of money to start up something and to roll with that vision of, we have a product, we're going to have it checked in research, and it's going to be the best research. I mean, that was serious thinking back then.
Unbelievable. And the company's actually done that every single year since 96. So it's $1 million every single year goes into research. Think about that. It's a great commitment.
Absolutely. Over the journey, young Simon, I'm sure you have plenty of life experiences and life changes around that. You mentioned some of them. What have been some of the 2 or 3 or 4 experiences over the journey you remember that you go, they were pivotal moments on my career to get me to where I am in 2022?
Yeah, I think there's a number of things. One was jumping in feet first, right? It's like, wasn't if, but will it work? Actually, I'm jumping in. It's a bit like when the Nordic guys came into the UK, right, years and years ago, right, with their invasion. Viking invasion on the boats. You know, they said, right, we're going to come into the UK. Just to let you know, guys, everybody on this boat here, what we're going to do is we're going to get off the boat and we're going to set fire to the boat. Right. So no ifs and buts. basically, we are going to succeed no matter what it takes. So imagine those guys when they got off the boat and thought, oh my God, right, listen, we've got to do this. I actually felt the same with my Juice Plus business. It was a do or die, which is why I sold my businesses, jumped in feet first. I had moments, I might add, where I looked in the mirror and thought, oh my God, what the hell have I done here? And but you know, I got some early success, and from the early success, a lot of people looked up to me and thought, well, God, if Simon's doing that, and the fun as well, having so much fun with people around me, they wanted to get involved. But one thing I did early on, which I regret, actually, it would have helped me to get off to a quicker start, is I actually prejudged a lot of people. So we had to do a contact list in those days, a list of 100 names. And I had some people on there who I would call Mr. and Mrs. Big. Now, Mr. and Mrs. Big, they've got big houses, big cars, goes on big holidays, lots of success. And you immediately think, Mr. and Mrs. Big won't be interested in this business, right? They do bigger things. And it wasn't until I went to a convention, which was in Germany, the year after I got involved, and I met one of my Mr. and Mrs. Big at a convention. They got involved with somebody else. So I mean, I was devastated. I was like, oh my God, how the hell could I do that? So that was a big lesson for me. And then what I'm telling the audience watching this today is, don't prejudge, because how have you got a right to prejudge anyway? They're the ones that are going to say no. I'm not interested. But you know what? Actually, Mr. and Mrs. Big know lots of Mr. and Mrs. Bigs. So it could be they go, well, I'm not interested, but actually, Simon, I know this friend of mine who could be interested. He's just gone bankrupt, got lots of issues, and is looking for something new. You know, so that's a good tip anyway. Number one tip.
Well, it is about getting yourselves out of our own way sometimes, isn't it? Really, stop tripping over ourselves. Any other hints or tips for particularly lads, because this is what we call the lads called Simon, so there'll be male partners of people looking in that really don't know what's going on. There'll be maybe current Juice Plus partners who are still a bit sketchy. What would you say to those guys now as they take on their career at the moment?
Listen, 9 out of 10 partners that come in our business are generally ladies. Why? Because they care for their own health, they're natural networkers, and it just naturally attracts women into our business. But what I have got, certainly over here in Europe, we've got lots of male partners who've gone on to become very, very good leaders. So actually, it's suitable for both gender, male and female. Right? We can easily prejudge, you know, with a lot of people, like, oh, he won't be interested, he won't. But actually, there's a very good team of male people around the world, even Australia, as you know. There's a lot of male leaders that have done some amazing things. We've got lots of partnerships over here as well. Boyfriend, girlfriend, or husband and wife, where the wife's got involved first, and then the man has got involved at a later stage. And of course, both partners have got different skill sets, and you put them together, and it's 1 + 1 actually equals not 3 but 5 in sometimes, you know. So that's the way you've got to look at it. And the funny thing about us guys, of course, when our ladies get involved, it's actually, well, this business it's not going to work out for her, right? Putting all this time in away from the family. Then all of a sudden it becomes a big success, and it's like, well, actually, it was our idea. You know what I mean? That's just the way us males are, really, in general. But so don't go and prejudge people that you know that are men on your list, actually, because we're all interested in health, without doubt, as men. Especially the older you get, you want to look after your body.
Correct.
We're all interested in success, you know, and a lot of people since the pandemic have reevaluated their lives. You know, a lot of them don't want to go to the office now. A lot of people actually want the freedom to travel. And you can travel around this world just with a smartphone. You can build an unbelievable business. But what I would say, work locally to start with, but think globally, because we're in 28 countries around the world, and you can build a business internationally from your smartphone with no investment. It's an amazing business. I would say it's probably one of the best businesses in the world. No risk, huge upside, have lots of fun, lots of travel. And it actually buys you time over a period of time where, you know, you can start working to get some sort of residual income.
Lovely segue in there. But, you know, over the last 2 years and people's health certainly becoming top of mind. What's your key learnings, or what have you seen as key learnings in the last 2 years, given the world we've lived in with restrictions, COVID, travel, non-travel, all that sort of carry on?
Well, we had a massive boom in 2020, of course. Everybody came indoors, and we did an extra $100 million of business in 2020, by the way, for doing nothing differently. It's a crazy year. Massive boom. Since we've had a little bit of a change in people's minds and perceptions. Of course, a lot of people are not going back into the office now. Big change there. The in-home model, business model, has sort of slightly changed in sort of the way you go and pitch it, I would say, because a lot of people are working from home anyway. So, that's a little bit different. You can't say, how would you like an in-home business? Well, I've got an in-home based business anyway, because I'm working for my company from home. But the difference you've got is you've still got a linear income. Which means if you don't work, you don't make money. That's what the difference is with our business, where you can actually buy yourself time going forward, when that freedom to go do some amazing things with your family. Once you've built this big secure business where the money can flow back in for you and you can take time out, you can't do that in a normal business, not for months and months on end. And I was on a call the other day with an American couple, Sean and Jennifer Myers. They took 1 year out from their business, took the kids out of school. They bought a catamaran, like $1 million catamaran, and they flew. Well, I say flew. They sailed around the world, no experience whatsoever, never been on a boat in their lives. So they went to learn what they needed to be a captain of this boat. And they did the whole globe in a year. And I remember them being on stage. What an amazing story.
That's mad.
Imagine being able to do that with your family. And life, I believe, it's about making money, but actually it's about making memories, because nobody can take those memories away from you. Nobody. And money is a tool. It allows you to do things, and it gives you options. And that's what I love about the success of our business there. Apart from, of course, yes, we're inspiring healthy living. We've got an amazing mission there of helping people with their health. But you can build this over a period of time. It doesn't happen overnight, but you can build this big business in multiple countries.
And that leads me nicely into a different one. Just your own family experience. So if you don't mind, what are some of the things that you go, oh my Lord, I look back on the business that we've done the last couple of years, Jennifer and Sean. What's your Jennifer and Sean moment with you and your family?
Well, we're doing a lot more traveling now, but my kids are like yours. They're growing up, of course. My kids now are 19 and 22. My daughter decided, this is just before the pandemic kicked in. She went to university in America, and it's an online university. And a lot of people poo-pooed the idea and thought, well, actually, just not the normal way to do things. Then the pandemic came in, and she's actually traveled and lived in 8 different cities around the world. So 8 cities over 4 years. She's off to Buenos Aires in September, then Taipei, then she goes back to San Fran for last year. But travel on that one there, I think, is incredible. My son's just going to live in Berlin in September to do his 4 years. But I think it's made us all think a little bit differently. Of course, we've all been working from home, and it's allowed to give us some thought in terms of what do we really want to do with our lives. And I think that's where Juice Plus really comes in for a lot of people, because, like I said, it gives you options. Whatever you want to do, options are very important in life, and most people don't have options. My next door neighbour, but one, he works for Morgan Stanley. He gets up at 6:15 every morning. He catches the train into London's Canary Wharf. He gets back around about 7 or 8 o'clock at night. Our kids used to go to the same school. I've never seen him at an assembly. I've never seen him at a sports day. They go on lots of holidays, have a great, or what he thinks, quality of life. But actually, he never sees his family. With this business, we know all the mums that get involved. They can drop the kids at school, do a bit of Juice Plus during the day, go and pick the kids up again. Or you can take your Juice Plus business on holiday with you and do a little bit there. Flexibility is amazing, and not everybody really understands this. But what you've got to do is get a bigger picture for where you want to do. Yes, it can make you an extra $200, $300, $400, $500 a month. But if you want to see the bigger picture and put more effort into it, more time, yes, you can do a lot more with it, which is amazing.
No, look, it's having been in the industry for a number of years, then joining Celine in the Juice Plus out here, I wholeheartedly recommend it. It does give you options, and across the board, of course, and you can make it what you like. It's not free of hard work. You have to sort of put the nose to the grindstone, but rewards do come. So you've articulated that very well, young Simon. Now, what are you excited about the next 2 years, 5 years? What are you seeing that actually you can legally tell us, of course, but things that might be coming up, or things that are currently happening that maybe we're not aware of at this part of the planet?
Well, we've got a new CEO, Stuart Knoby, of course. He's come from Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Spent over 20 years in Coca-Cola, going up in a male-dominated boardroom, by the way.
Yes.
She made her way right up to the top.
Yes.
She's got a huge amount of experience. So she's not been with us that particularly long, but she's got a great vision for where she wants to take us, because we're only in 28 countries. You know, why can't we be in 100 countries around the world? Why can't we be in some bigger countries than we're in now? You know, I mean, look at the likes of, say, India, for instance, 1.2 billion people.
Yeah.
Right? We've never really got into Latin America yet. The closest we've got is Mexico.
Yes.
Right. Well, look at Brazil, 293 million people.
Yes.
It's a huge, huge business, that as well. Nobody knows about Juice Plus around Latin America yet.
Yes.
Or even over in Asia.
Yeah.
So we're not really started on those countries there. And of course, we're putting heaps or millions of dollars into new investments. IT, for instance, we've just this weekend finished moving all of our data, 50 years old data, legacy data, onto the cloud.
Correct.
There's big investment going on for IT, new apps, new websites, new virtual offices.
Yeah.
So that's all happening as we speak. Then, of course, lots of focus going into new products as well. We've got a new Taste of Complete coming out this summer.
Yeah.
And then with the innovation team, they are looking at new research and development on new plant-based products, because we want to be the #1 plant-based company in the world. That is our goal. And of course, that particular industry is growing hugely. It's like 4 times the size of the pharma industry.
Yes.
Huge, huge, huge. Going like that. So if you want to be involved in anything, you want to be involved in something that's doing that, not that, or that.
Yeah.
You know, and all my whole family is plant-based. You know, we're vegans as well, and that's a lot of people are going that route, especially young millennials and Gen Zs now, because they want to protect the planet. So we're in that industry where we're offering choices for people to have a healthier way of living. And also we help educate people to get fitter. As we know, drink more water, go down the gym, take the stairs in your apartment, not the lift.
Yeah.
Why don't you go and walk to the shops rather than take the car? And it's the little simple changes that help improve people's health. And certainly after the pandemic, I would say health has to be the new wealth for people, because
totally.
You know, even my father, his health never been on his priority list at all. You know, he's a classic old school guy who go to the pub and drink 5 pints of beer a night. But then all of a sudden the pandemic comes along, like most of those types, frightened them to death, you know, for like 70s and 80s. Yeah. And then all of a sudden he's like, "Look, Simon, can you send me some more Juice Plus? I need to do something to look after my body." So the pandemic is a massive shift on people's health goals. And of course, with health products, we're there to help solve a lot of problems.
Beautifully put, Simon. Beautifully put. And, you know, as all these calls go, like that's 30 minutes gone in a flash. But I do have one more question for you, Simon. If there was somebody looking in right now and they go, yeah, they're maybe wishy-washy, have you got 2 or 3 tips to maybe get some of these guys over the line and go, you just get on with it, just go to it, be done with it?
Yeah, well, #1 is you've got to try the products, right? Because you've got to become a product of the product. I've taken Juice Plus now for nearly 30 years, never missed a day. So you've got to believe in what you sell, right? It's like anything in life. You've got to look people in the eye and show them that belief, that you truly believe here, what you are recommending. I take this, my family takes this, my friends take it, and I'd love you to take it because this is what it's going to do for your health. So that's number one. If you can't get a belief in the product, this business is not for you. So move on. Next one is you've got to get some belief in the company. I did a Dun & Bradstreet. I'm not saying you go and do that, right? Because we've been around for 52 years. It was 20 years at the time when I got involved. But get some belief in the company. Check the company out, because we're in an industry where people have got a lot of opinions, and they will come back to you and they will go, actually, that product, that company is illegal.
Yeah.
It's a pyramid company. By the way, those products are rubbish.
Yeah.
These are people that know nothing about our industry, nothing about our products, but they will tell you
yes,
those things.
Yeah.
Right. And they are full of opinions. So you've got to actually counter effect that by saying, look, I understand exactly how you feel. I felt the same myself until I checked the company out, right?
Yeah.
They're 52 years old. They've done $14 billion, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So that is number one. Number two is, like I say, you've got to check the products out, use the products. The company won't let you down. Products will never let you down.
Yeah.
The only thing that's going to let you down actually is you.
Yeah.
And what you're going to find is once you get involved in this business is there's a lot of naysayers.
Yes.
A lot of those naysayers can be your family. They can be under your roof.
Yes.
And a lot of those can be friends and family, only because a lot of them love you. They don't want to see you hurt.
Correct.
But unfortunately, that they don't have the facts and the information and the education to give you that correct information yourself. So that's why you've got to help them along the way.
Yeah.
And that's it. So that's probably the advice I would give. And then, of course, if you're getting started, right, I would say what you need to do is you need to get some quick results and quick success. Why? Because people are going to do exactly what you do when you get involved in the business.
Yeah.
And it's a bit like the aeroplane on a runway, right? If the captain came over to you today and said, okay, Mick, today, Mick, we are going to have half acceleration on this runway taking off. We may make it or may not make it getting off this runway. That's when everybody would feel frightened to death.
Yeah.
What he does is he gives it, bam, full on throttle to get in the air. That is what you need to do with your Juice Plus business. So you can get in the air very quickly. Yeah. And you can have this success that you can show to people. This is what I did. And once you've got that success, just like me when I started 32 years ago, I had my friends knocking at my door going, what do I do? Where do I sign up? I want to get involved in this business. That's it. So that success just gets out there very quickly. So they're probably the 3 tips that I would have for anybody looking at the business and getting started today.
Well, Simon, you have recently surpassed 30 years in the business, in the industry. I wrote, I think, a message to us congratulating you, but realistically, that doesn't do it justice. The longevity, the loyalty, the experiences you've got, and you are a shining light for Juice Plus people around the world. And this, when it goes out tomorrow, this will be probably, get around the place. But just wanted to say, from our point of view over here, you've been a great friend of ours, giving us as much support as we've always asked for. And again, a genuine legend within the industry and the business. And from everybody here to you, thank you very, very much for your time 30 odd years ago, and also tonight as well. Some really, really good words of wisdom there.
Thanks, Mick. I cherish our relationship with you and Celine. I really do. You're beautiful people. Love the leaders in Australia as well. You've got some great leaders. Yeah. But you know what? We can do better, actually. Absolutely. There's some bigger prospects out there. We need to get everybody to step up. Yeah. Make the rest of the Juice Plus world proud of Australia and New Zealand. Here we are, flying the flag.
Great stuff.